Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to finally start this YouTube channel because it's been like many years that I have this idea in mind, and it's kind of like a dream of mine to start this channel and just share what I want to share and build a community. But for some reason, I never started it. I always had a good excuse not to start it now. And right now I felt like I have no more excuses. I just received a new phone. I know what I want to share, and I keep on sharing the message that the best moment to start is always now, and that you don't have to feel ready to start. And so I was like, okay, let's walk my talk, even though I know I'm already doing that. Like, let's do it even more. So here I am finally. And as there is more and more people asking about my journey, my story, and how did I end up becoming a high on life mentor, I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do a YouTube video on my story so you can get to know me, and I hope it will inspire you and help you on your journey. So, I grew up in a really loving family. I was super lucky to have two really lovely parents, two lovely siblings. We were in a really peaceful environment growing up, really loving, and there was no like conflict or things like that. Like, of course, with your brothers and sisters, there is always like, some triggers, but it was never like a big thing. My parents are still together. Um, and yeah, we were traveling during the holidays. Like, we had really beautiful childhood. I can't complain. I'm so grateful. And yeah, so growing up, I always was like the happy child. Everyone was always telling me like, oh, you're so joyful, you're so smiling all the time. So it kind of like shaped my identity to be a positive, optimistic, joyful person. So I really don't know if that's like something I'm born with or something I developed over time, but it seems like from my childhood I was always like pretty joyful and happy and positive. Anyways, so I grew up, I went to school, I had friends, and something that was really a part of my childhood was sport. I practiced dance, gymnastics, track and field, like athleticism. And yeah, I was always pretty good at sport. I think that was also something that shaped my identity as I grew up. I identified myself with success, winning the sports. Like, I was involved in the competitions. I was really often winning the prize, and I had good grades at school. I feel like all of this kind of shaped me in the way of identifying myself as someone that achieve things and succeed. And but the shadow side of it, like, there is always two side of things, of course, was that I was kind of like chasing approval growing up, and I was doing things more like for the energy of, the reward and the approval of the external world than for myself at some point. So yeah, my journey was really to come back home to myself and like reconnect to my own approval and what I really want to do, and not what people want me to do, and so I can have their approval. See what I mean? Anyway, so I really didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. Like, when I grew up and people were asking me like, hey Lise, what do you want to do later? I was always like, I don't know. And I secretly always had this dream of like me on a beach with like a coconut and just drinking, relaxing, chilling, and living the life. But I couldn't say that to people. Like, I felt really blocked in my throat chakra, although I didn't know what a chakra was. Yeah, I couldn't speak my truth. I was like, I don't know, I have time to see. Maybe I want to be like an architect. Maybe I want to be, I I wanted to be like home decoration thing. I was coming up with really random things like that I didn't really had interest for. Was just like, I don't know, sounds nice. And yeah, so I was pretty lost, you know. I was like, let's see what life brings my way. And yeah, because I had developed this identity of I'm capable, I can achieve whatever I want. um I was like, having this mindset of I want to do long-term studies because I know this is the way to you know, have a good job and make a lot of money. And yeah, in France, like the diploma is really important. Like people love to have high diploma so they can have like higher positions and everything. And at the time, like when I grew up, I was like, yes, I want to do this, I want to be successful, I want to be rich. And I really identified success as making money, like literally. And so I grew up, didn't know, like 18 I had my baccalaureate, all good. And then, you know, it's time for you to choose what you want to do after your normal studies. And I didn't know what to do. And my dad was an engineer, more like in the informatic part, and he was really really good at math, and he was really pushing me, helping me during for my math exercise. And I kind of enjoyed math at the time, but it was not a passion. I think I enjoyed it because I was good at it. So I had like this approval of like, because I'm good at it, I have the approval back, so it gives me energy, so I want to go in this direction. But I was really not conscious and aware of this, of course, at the time. But then now I can realize that this was like my way of thinking. And um, yeah, I after the normal studies, I started to study math and physics, like in depth. And it was like a really really intense 2 year school. It's like the most intense study you can go almost in France. It's called preparatory classes for like the high schools. And yeah, it was super super intense, and it was super stressful. Like basically you just like do math like 12 hours a week or something, and you just math and physics, and you eat and you sleep and you do that all day. And yeah, it was pretty intense, and you had to like memorize like super huge formula. Like it was pretty crazy when I think about it today. Like, and all of this just to like pass the test and, you know, have the better school depending on your grade and everything. So it was really like a competition thing. And I was so done with the competitive mindset. Like I was pretty done with it already with the sports. I was like, you know, it's good, it's challenging me, and it's pushing me to become better and everything. But like, what's the point? I was kind of like struggling to understand why am I competing, like. And I felt the same way during my studies. I was like, for me this is not like a really healthy way to function. I feel pressured, I feel stressed, I feel like you know, people are my enemy almost. Like instead of like helping each other, even though there was like a kind of a helping environment in the classroom and everything, but was still like kind of like shark environment type of thing that I didn't really like. And I don't know, at some point I just started to ask a lot of questions about, you know, my life in general. Like, what's the purpose? Like, why am I here in a human body on a piece of rock turning at, I don't know, thousands of kilometers per hour around a ball of fire? Like I was like, okay, I think I need some answers, and I don't know what the hell am I doing here, but I want to enjoy this life experience. Like, I'm in a pretty fucking amazing body, like the sensational machine that it is. and there is many cool stuff to do out there, and I can see that there is people that are living a pretty good life. So why not me? Like, why would I work a 9 to 5 job? I don't even have any purpose, like just to make money and have kids and, have a good family. But I was like, do I even want kids right now? Like, it didn't make sense to me that I was building my future, and I was not even aligned today with this future. Like, I was basically sacrificing my today for a future that I didn't really wanted. Like, I was not really like excited about. So I was like, mm, is that really what I want? And I at that time I also started to really be into personal development, and I was in some relationships also before all of this, that kind of opened my eyes on freedom and choosing for myself, because this relationship that I was in um, were like kind of awakening that part of me that felt stuck. I was in a relationship, I couldn't affirm myself. Like, I felt like I was always shrinking and obeying. At some point I was not feeling like myself and free, and it really awakened that inside of me, and I started to dive into personal development and learning about all these things, like reconnecting to yourself, and all the mindset things, and just how to set boundaries and raise your standards and everything. And I started to apply that into my life, not only in the relationship side of things, but also like in the fulfillment side of things. Like, I truly didn't feel like I was living a life of purpose and excitement, and I knew that if I kept going this way of like making decisions for money and approval, I was gonna end up depressed and burnt out. Like, I couldn't picture myself being in an office in a 9 to 5 while I knew I had these dreams of like traveling and meeting new people and trying new things, and I don't know, discovering the world and myself. And yeah, I had like so many ideas and dreams. Like, I couldn't picture myself just sitting on a chair listening to something I don't truly want to listen to, just to make money and have a safe future. So yeah, the COVID started to happen at this time, and I it really like again awakened this part of me. Like, I want to be free, I don't want to be stuck, I want to explore. I like, what the hell is going on in this world? Like, tomorrow the world can be shut down. I want to experiment, to explore, to do things. Like, it really awakened that in me. Like, it's now or never. Like, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and every day matters. So you better spend your day doing something you love or that actually excites you, rather than just like being on autopilot and taking your decisions out of scarcity mode, and just for approval, basically. So yeah, I was not even aware of everything I'm just saying right now. I just, like, it was an inner feeling and knowing, and I really didn't know what was it, but I knew something had to change. I was like, this just cannot keep happening. Like, I felt like literally I was dying if I kept going, like studying math and physics and not doing something for myself. I felt like my soul was dying. So yeah, I took my courage and I told my parents, um, I think I want to stop my studies. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I feel like I just can't keep going like that. And at first, they were like, worried and scared, because this was not what they had in mind for me. And I was like in a pretty safe path. And for them, it was like, you're sure? So yeah, it was not easy to take this decision, definitely. And at the time, I was like, kind of depending on my parents still. So I unconsciously again like made decisions to kind of get out of it. So I wanted to become an airplane pilot. I tried to join the Navy in France to like take off the aircraft carrier with the fighter jet. It was pretty insane. And I took like even took lessons of how to pilot a plane. So that was fun. And yeah, I tried to join the Navy, but at some point I had an interview with the people from the Navy, like the people that are at the highest position, and they, I think they saw my personality and my energy, and they say like, we don't picture you in the Navy. And they were right. Like, it's the opposite of freedom. Like, you have to obey to orders and like kill, drop bombs and stuff like that. Like, what? And now, with like the time, I realized that the reason why I wanted to become a fighter jet pilot, it was only for the symbol of freedom, of flying in the air, in the clouds. And it was just like, yeah, this symbol of freedom. And like in the Navy, you're on the boat and you're like traveling and everything. And for me, in my head, it was just like a safe way to do what my soul was calling me to do, like traveling and kind of flying and doing extraordinary things. So yeah, they rejected me, and thanks God, because that put me on my path, like my self discovery journey. So after they told me, sorry, we don't like accept you for now, but they were like, you can try again in 6 months. So I was like, oh, they don't know to who they're talking about. I'm gonna come back stronger in 6 months. I'm gonna show them I'm the right one. I was like in this mindset. But then during these 6 months, I started to travel, and I started to really taste life, like real life. Especially that it was like right after the lockdown. So I had lots of energy, lots of, willingness to experience life and meet new people, try new things, just like I was like a firework and going all over the place and just going for everything. So yeah, I started to travel with my friend Julia, and yes, she's pretty awesome, and she was really matching this energy, my energy at the time. And yeah, we had a pretty insane summer. um, I can dive deeper into this story. I think I'm gonna do like a manifestation story where I will talk about what happened during the summer, because it was pretty insane. But anyways, after a whole summer of traveling in Europe, I decided to travel by myself in Central America, because all of my friends were like going to university, and me, I was just like, let's just go with my backpack. And so I flew to Central America. I first flew to Panama. And yeah, at the time I started to surf, and surf really like saved me in the way that it was a new sport that I really find purpose in. Like, I was connected to nature, like in the ocean. And for me, surfing was like a way, a metaphor of life, basically. Like, every wave is like a challenge or a problem in life, and you are here with your little surfboard, and at first like you're a beginner and you just like get crushed by the wave and you, wow, washing machine. But then as you go, as you learn how to, when the waves come, you can just like go under, or you can just like do the turtle roll, and it's not so difficult. And then you learn how to surf, so you learn how to enjoy the problems and the challenges of life, and it's no more a problem anymore. Like, you're looking forward to it. You're like, oh my god, there is waves today, like, woo, let's go surfing. And so yeah, for me it was like kind of really exciting things, and I really wanted to get better at it. And I really enjoyed also the atmosphere and kind of like the way of living around it, like, really peaceful by the ocean type of thing. And yeah, I was like, I knew in Central America there was good surfing, and I was like, it's a good opportunity for me also to speak Spanish, and just being really far away from home. I really wanted to have like this feeling of uh, insecurity and uncertainty, because I was so shrinked when I grew up in an environment where I couldn't be myself. I felt like I needed to be safe and take decisions for others. I was like, I want to be far away. I want to go explore and just be by myself. And for me, traveling was also a powerful way to like reinvent myself, in the way that, when you arrive to a new place with new people, no one knows you, you can just like be whoever you want. And so for me, that was a really powerful way to step into my authenticity, my true self, and really just bring the best out of me. And yeah, kind of like, reinvent myself and decide who I want to be, rather than uh, let my environment dictate who I am. So yeah, if you feel like you're called to travel solo, I will say 100% go for it. It's really gonna build your self-esteem, your self-trust, and you're gonna learn so much about yourself, about the world, and you're gonna be so much inspired by everyone you're gonna meet and all the opportunities that are gonna flow your way. Like, it's really a spiritual experience to travel solo, where if you're open minded and you go out, you smile, and you're willing to grow and experiment, it's gonna be the most powerful things you can do. So just go for it, even if it's like 1 day trip, not 1 day. I mean, even 1 day is good, but I mean, this fits like a weekend or a week. It's also powerful. Like, just you can start small and then little by little just expand. And yeah, so I started travel solo. I think I'm gonna talk about everything that happened to me, because otherwise this video is gonna be way too long. But yeah, a lot of things happened during this trip. It was really insane. Everything everything I could wish for literally manifested in ways like I couldn't even think of. It was like I went on a boat trip from Panama to Costa Rica, like on a sailing boat trip for absolutely free. Um, yeah, I learned to surf over there in Panama. I found like insane voluntary, how do you call it? Like when you're volunteering in places. I found incredible volunteering opportunities, like in surf camp right in front of the beach with like waves all day. And yeah, I met like amazing people. Um, and yeah, I felt just so blessed during all these trips. Like, everyone was so nice, and yeah, people were just like offering me the right thing at the right time. And I felt like every time I had like an idea or a wish, it was just like coming to me easily. Like, it was super flowy, and yeah, it was like a magical experience to me. And so at some point during this trip, I was doing a volunteer in a cafe in Nicaragua. And over there, I met an American. So I'm gonna talk about it also deeper in other video. Right now, I'm just like doing kind of an overview thing, and I will go more in depth in every subject that I want to go in depth. So this one will be one, because it's like the the thing that is going to talk to a lot of women out there. Yeah, because so I started to go in a relationship. It was a guy from America, United States, and we started to travel together, and it was lovely, living the life. Literally, it was really, really wealthy too. So for me, it was really new, because I didn't had lots of money traveling. Like, I just had some savings, and I was giving math lessons online, but still, it was pretty chaotic with the jet lag and everything. So at some point, I just stopped, and I was like kind of in survival mode. I was not having a lot of money, but I was managing, but it was not like, you know, I was living in abundance and I was going to fancy hotel or stuff like that. I was just like here without much money. So yeah, I started to travel this with this guy that was actually pretty wealthy, and he was putting me in a position that I really liked, you know, like it felt so good to be taken care of. And uh, we were traveling together, surfing together, going like explore things and everything. And I felt like in a dream, you know. I was like, whoa, everything I dreamed of is here. um, but there is a but. The fact that I was depending on him financially was starting to be a problem because I was accepting things that I shouldn't have. And I knew there was something with him that I felt like I can help him with. Like, I could see it was not really in the present moment. It was very often like frustrated or sad. And at some point, I could see that there was something weird, but I couldn't explain. At the time, I didn't know it, but it was drugs. And I never really took drugs in the past in my life. So, yeah, I never got involved in this type of things. So, I was pretty ignorant, and I just thought like there is like a mental thing going on, but I didn't know, and I thought like I could help him. But anyway, it was really toxic because in a relationship you're not supposed like to save the other person. And in this dynamic, it was like sort of he was saving me with his money, and I was trying to save him with my emotional intelligence. And so at some point it got really, really bad, to the point that the relationship completely exploded. It went violent, verbally, physically. And thanks God I got out of this relationship. And yeah, after that I was like, okay, this cannot happen again. And I knew that in order for it to not happen again, I needed to change something within myself. I needed to learn my lesson, and I needed to, yeah, step into a version of me that will be able to support myself financially. And so I will never like kind of fall back into this pattern of like doing the savior for someone that could save me. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I deserve someone that would take care of me financially and everything, like the way I want, but also I would be able to have firm limits and not accept things I don't want to accept because this person is paying for me. See what I mean? So yeah, I will go in depth in all of this in another video where I will talk about relationships, especially toxic relationships, and how to get out of it, how to extract the lesson out of it to grow from it and not be the victim of it. So yeah. But anyway, after this relationship, I was like, okay, I really need to do something new. And at the time, I felt like I wanted to start something that I enjoy doing that could in the future create an income stream. And so I tried many things for 2 years. After that, it was like really a healing journey and a self-discovery journey again. But I was less like going out into the world to discover myself. I was like, okay, I already traveled, I already experienced my thing in the outside world. Now let's explore my inner world. Because most of the time, the people that want to travel and explore the world, it's because they are looking to know themselves more. Everything that you want in your external reality is always just a reflection of something you want within yourself. It's just like an excuse. And once you have this thing, you're like, okay, that's good, but it feels empty if, yeah, like you are going out to find something that you want within. It's gonna feel empty, and it's so different that when you know why you do things like in your external reality, you feel already whole and complete inside, and then you go get this thing, it's completely different. But anyway, yeah, I was like, okay, I really want to create something with my life. And at the time, I didn't really know what. Like, I was kind of um, thinking about, yeah, helping people, but also creating and expressing my authentic truth. And I was like, should I make music? Should I like inspire people to get in shape and do sports with me? Because I was really into fitness and everything. Or maybe should I just, start a travel blog or a personal development type of channel? And it was not really clear. So I tried everything. Literally, I created a travel blog. I started my fitness YouTube channel. I also became a community manager at some point because I knew I wanted to have something online because I wanted to keep traveling. And I already tasted this freedom of working online because I was doing online mathematic lessons. And I just met so many people on my way that were working online, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like them. Like, it's so cool. So I was like, all right, I took this course like to teach me how to become a VA and community manager. So I did that for some times. But everything I did felt really empty. Like something was off. And yeah, something was missing. I was missing this deep inner purpose and alignment and fulfillment. And just doing it for the sake of doing it and not expecting something in return. Like as I said before, I used to really work with approval system. Like I do this because I know I'm gonna get like reward back. Like people are gonna tell me, oh, it's so good what you're doing, or I'm gonna have lots of likes. But yeah, I really wanted to do something that I just enjoy doing, no matter what is the outcome. And so I started to post on social medias a bit more like deeper stuff, but I was so afraid of the judgment of people, and I couldn't even realize it. Like I was so blind of my own fears. Like I I grew up thinking I was fearless. And even my friends, my close friend telling me like, Liz, you don't have any fears, like you can do anything and you are doing everything you want to do. And it's good to have this mindset and this identity, but at some point, if you're not like a little bit humble and like realizing that you're human and it's normal that you have fears, you cannot keep going. Like you're not moving forward in your life if you're not just like sitting and become aware of what is actually stopping you from doing the things that you want to do, what is stopping you from being clear about what you want, and what once you know what you want, like starting it actually. So it took me quite some time, like more than 23 years to actually realize that I was afraid of judgment and visibility. And yeah, I was limiting myself so much the way I was talking online. And at some point, I really had this big desire to share, to express myself, to help people, and to do something I love and create, connect. I had so much desire. Like it was like a ball that was growing every day, like a ball of energy. And I was trying things and it was not working the way I wanted. And I was not even sure if that was the right thing. And everything felt so overwhelming. And at the time, I started to dive deeper into spirituality, manifestation, because I didn't know what was manifestation when I grew up. Like it was pretty recent. Like even during my trips, when I manifested all the things that I wanted, I didn't even know what manifestation was. I just started to know about it like when I got back from the trip, like 7 months after. I started to see content about manifestation online, and I was like, And then I realized, like, oh my god, like everything I experienced in the trip was literally a manifestation, because I remember I was in the plane on the way to Panama, and I was like kind of wondering like, oh, what could happen during this trip? And I started to imagine things, and literally, like when I got back from the trip, I realized like everything I picture in my head during this plane on the way is what happened, and beyond my imagination, everything that like literally manifested. And I'm gonna talk about it deeper until on the manifestation video. But when we went in Greece with my friend, when we started to travel after the lockdown, we did like a checklist of things we wanted to experience, and same, we like manifested everything. So when I started to heard of manifestation, I was like, okay, so basically I've been manifesting everything and I was not even conscious of. And now people are telling me like there is a framework like how to manifest things. Let's go. Like, but this is where the things got a little bit harder for me, because it was effortless for me to do it, and then once I start to become aware of how to do it, I was like kind of having attachment toward it. Like I was like, okay, I'm setting my intentions, what I want, but then I was missing the surrender part. Like just forget about it and be present, and keep being yourself, and then things are going to come to you naturally. So anyway, I got out of the way of what I was saying, but at some point I felt like I was not manifesting. I felt like I was failing at manifestation. And I was trying every tricks and things I was seeing online, and every techniques. And at some point my reality got really out of control. I started to literally lose my mind. I didn't know in what world I was living. Like some pretty crazy stuff happened. Like literally I was reading a book, and I saw like the words changing in the book. I I was watching a sunset, and I felt like this energy of the sun was going to my forehead and allowing me to fly. And I was like meeting people that were recognizing me in places I never been to, and giving me the contacts of people that knew what I wanted to do, even though I'd never talked to them. Like pretty crazy stuff. Like I was starting to be afraid almost. And at some point, yeah, I really thought I was like, I heard of all these things like quantum jumping, and uh, reaching a new timeline and everything, and I was so afraid, and I didn't know what was happening, and I felt like I was shifting reality, and I was afraid I was gonna lose my family and never see them again or something. So I really got afraid, and I wanted to see them, so I went to see them. And anyway, I will do a video on that. I'm having so many videos idea right now. It's just crazy. But yeah, I will do a video of like everything that happened to me during that period. But yeah, my family just like couldn't really recognize me, and so they thought I needed help, and that's how I end up in the psychic world for a month and a half. Yeah, it was a pretty intense experience. And after that, I really felt like I needed to chill down. I needed to ground myself and to really sit with myself and really look within, like what's happening, but in a gentle way, because I it was not gentle way like what I did in the past. It was like just all over the place way. So after that, I just chilled down, took time for myself. I worked as a waitress in the mountains for 4 or 5 months, and it really helped me to take some time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna save up money, and then I'm gonna have time to, you know what I want and start something. And so after that, I will focus on what I truly want to do. And during this time, I started to invest in myself, go to events online, especially Tony Robbins events that really helped me reconnect with myself and know what I want and like start acting toward it. And yeah, I discovered so many wisdom and met so many people that helped me and gave me the tools of like how to align my energy with what I want, set my intentions, and finally like having a healthy relationship with myself and my journey, and just embracing every part of the process. And I really started to do the inner work that I was avoiding, like looking at my shadow side, because I've been identified so much as the positive, optimistic, joyful girl that it was almost like impossible for me to believe that I had a shadow side. But that's exactly what was stopping me. And so once I decided to actually look at my shadow side and like heal what needed to be healed and embraced what needs to be embraced, like I learned how to embrace my vulnerability. I learned how to forgive also what happened with my past, my exes. And yeah, it was such a powerful journey and really intense. And thanks to that, like all of this inner work that I did, that I was avoiding and I was afraid of it before, thanks to that, today I am attracted my soulmates. Like I'm gonna do again a video on relationships where I'm gonna explain how we met each other and how it was like a pure divine manifestation. It's absolutely crazy what happened, and like I just have more and more certainty every day. I just know that life is an illusion that we all live in. And in order to reconnect with the truth, we need to reconnect with ourselves first. And we need to understand why we are going through things, and just know that everything is happening for the good. And I felt like I always knew all these things within myself, but just like learning about it and healing through real things that happened in my past was just like a powerful realization for me. And it's really changed me in the way that I can say today I'm no longer the same person as I was like 5 years ago, when I was, stuck in my studies. And during 5 years, I grew so much, experienced so much. And today I feel like I have such a different outlook on life. And yeah, I have a vision, I have a purpose. I love what I do every day. And I'm surrounded by people that have also ambitions. And now my goal is really to expand that and share everything I know and help as many people as possible to, reconnect with their true self and experience the joy of fully living. If everyone does this in their lives, and everyone become aware of what are their limitations, why are they going through what they're going through, and uh, reconnect to what they truly want and start to act toward it, so they can create a life that they truly love, and so they feel more peaceful and happy. Like if everyone does that, we would just live in a happy world. Because it's not about changing the external world. Like it's like trying to paint the leaves of a tree to change the tree. Like you have to go to the roots, you can't just paint it. So I realized like if I wanted to change my external reality, I needed to change something within myself first. And after I did that and I started to really feel aligned and see the results, the next logical step for me was to help other people do the same. And something I didn't mention in my journey also was that um, I chose to be sober in my life because I was always, as I said, a pretty joyful and happy person, but for some reason I was drinking a lot when I was going out for party and everything. And even though I knew I didn't need that to have fun, like I was still doing it again, probably for approval reasons. And yeah, at some point after like many lessons out of alcohol especially and drugs, after what happened with my ex-boyfriends, I decided to go completely sober and really inspire others to just, be connected to the magic of life and to their inner joy without artificial substances. And that's how the High on Life mentor came out, because I really want people to just be connected to their inner magic. And no one needs to take alcohol or any drugs to feel high. You can be high on life when you're connected to, the magic of this world. And when you love yourself and you love what you do every day, you don't need anything to numb yourself. So I really hope that everything I shared inspired you. If you are willing to be guided on this path of self-discovery and fulfillment, leave a comment. Just manifest yourself. Just say self-discovery, and I will share more details about what I do and how I help other people through my High on Life Metamorphosis online course. And yeah, you can just grab my 5 minutes reset. I will put in the description below. It's 5 minutes that I created for you to start your day with intention and reconnect with your heart, settle into gratitude, and start your day with intention. So if you do that every day, little by little, you're gonna align your true self with your actions and like start to slowly shift your reality. Don't forget also to subscribe and activate the notification to stay tuned with all the videos I talked about. And I will see you in the next video.